lights are on. The field is lined. Let's do this, Tuscaloosa. This is Hillcrest Football on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Now, Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, and the Hillcrest Student Broadcast Crew on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Well, hello. Welcome to the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Hope you're staying cool. Brent Jones and Brad Armstrong, and you see Brian Pirano here and Idiana Wiggins to my right behind me. I don't know if you can see her in this shot or not. We're in a cramped little press box booth. Whoa, be careful, guys. Don't let any of that come out, okay?
I don't have one. You're in for
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. It's right there.
That's not. Does it flex out or something?
That's it. Sorry, this is a very difficult situation, as it often is for us on the road, to get everything up and running. Okay, get it in there. Yeah, okay, got that internet connection. Be sure none of these come out here, Coach P, because we'll lose our broadcast. It's always an adventure on the road, but we always figure it out the best we can and get things going. We're ready to start the 2023 season for the Hillcrest Patriots. And welcome to the Mark Nelson, County Commissioner of District 3, Mark Nelson pregame show. How about that? You got that? And, all right, there we go. And we're so happy to have you here. And also, every time we are in a broadcast booth, whether it's at Roy Johnson Stadium, at home, or on the road, it is now the CB&S Bank broadcast booth. All right. Hey, where are you? Where are you, Brad? Oh, I didn't unmute you. Sorry.
I muted. I muted me because I'm helping P.
Oh, okay, okay.
Trying to get on, make sure Mixlr's going.
Oh, okay. So they're working on some tech stuff while we're starting. Idiana, are you ready for break number 2 there that has the coaches show? We will take a break and hear what Coach Jamie Mitchell had to say on the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show and try to sort out some more of this tech stuff and be back after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
55 years of blood, sweat, and tears, we rolled into one. And hand tossed in a homemade sauce. Well, they did something nobody's done. It's a late night itch and a game day tradition. It's Sunday after church. From Tennessee to Florida, Mississippi to Georgia, we keep putting our chicken first. And it's golden fried, made with pride. It's the chicken people speaking since 65. It's Guthrie's chicken.
Serving the University of Alabama alumni, students, and fans since 1939, Bama Stuff is the perfect place for all your Bama merchandise needs. They have a large selection of Nike official on-field apparel, as well as everything you need for the perfect game day experience. Come see our exclusive in-house designed Bama apparel and souvenirs to help you stand out. Located on the heart of the Strip on University Boulevard, in the shadow of Bryant-Denny. They're open 7 days a week or shop online anytime at BamaStuff.com. Bama Stuff is proud to be UA alumni and veteran owned and operated. Patriot Nation, it's definitely worth your while to make the short trip down 69 South to Tammy's Salon. Tammy's is located in Moundville on Highway 69, just down from Family Dollar. They offer men's, women's, and kids' haircuts, color and highlight services, perms, and facial waxing. Friendly customer service and great cuts and color at very affordable prices are what you'll find at Tammy's. Come support the salon in Moundville that supports the Pats. Tammy's Salon. Hello and welcome to the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show. Coach Mitchell, I love saying those words. Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show, because that means that pretty soon we're going to be kicking off and starting the football season for 2023. How excited are you?
Well, it's football season, and we couldn't be more excited. And, the heat hadn't helped a lot, but it hadn't dampened our spirits too much, So man, we can't wait to get it going. I know our kids are tired of hitting each other and ready to hit somebody else, and such high hopes. We'll see where this thing goes.
High hopes. Well, talk to us about the preseason and how everything's gone, and just what the atmosphere has been like, and the mood among the team and everything.
It's been really good. I talk about it every year. Every team's so different. They just have different chemistry, different makeup, different players. And, it takes time to figure out your identity and, how those guys are going to gel and bond together, and, how they perform well. And, we still have a lot of competition ongoing and will for a couple of weeks until we get a chance to play. So, there's just a lot of fun right now. There's a lot of excitement. A lot of kids are in the mix. And, a lot of times you don't know until you line up and play somebody else how good you're going to be.
Well, tell us some of your players in the preseason who have been doing well that we can look to see good things from.
Yeah, offensively, Jamarcus Prince has had just a stellar summer, and that's bled right over into fall camp. He continues just to, excel in a big-time way. He's a wide receiver for us, and Bryson Kimbrough, the starting quarterback, certainly played well last year. When we lost Ethan, we have a lot of hope that, he's going to continue to do a great job. Ja'Shawn Land at running back has, just been really, really good. And, we have Sean Franklin and Andreas Ross, 2 tackles that have started, pretty much every game since I've been here, and Jackson Henderson at tight end. So there's so many of those guys that have played a lot of football for us since I've been here on the offensive side. It makes me feel really good.
Now, you're talking about the offense and saying a lot of great things about the offense, but at that scrimmage game last Friday night, what really caught my eye was that defensive line that you've got.
Well, we can't. We're sick of those guys. We want to get away from them, and they have just pummeled us for 2 weeks. And defensively, we feel like we may be as good as we've been here, and that's saying a lot. And you mentioned the defensive front. It's where it all starts. And there's literally 7 guys that up there that are just incredible. So many of those guys, there's just not a nickel's difference in them. And, T.J. Grant has played a lot of football for us. Matthew Cockle has played a lot. But there's some guys that are have just been unblockable for us, So we're excited about that. And then, we lost 3 of the 4 linebackers, but, Evan Williams has done a great job outside for us. And, A.J. Quarles returns as an inside backer. But, we feel really good about the linebacking court. And then in the secondary, we're fortunate that T.J. Banks moved in. He's a 4-star player and great player back there. And, really our entire secondary, Barkley Crawford's a 4-year starter. The only player that, since I've been here, that will be a 4-year starter for us. So, there's really good players on both sides of the ball for us.
It's looking good. Well, let's talk about, Saturday morning, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Good thing y'all been practicing in the heat, huh?
Right. It's going to be brutal. We've spent probably more time Sunday in our staff meeting trying to get a good plan together on how to handle this week, how to get our players to Saturday in the best shape possible, the most hydrated, the most rested, and at the same time, figuring out a way to practice, So it's a challenge, but, we feel really good about our plan. Rebecca, our trainer, is really, really a big part of that, trying to work alongside us and keep our players ready to go.
Tell us how this came about to kick off the season across state lines in this different kind of atmosphere.
Well, last year we played Armwood in this slot, and it's kind of an odd deal for us, and that was a 1-game series. So I had to find a game for this year, and certainly with my ties in Mississippi and some friends I've got in Tennessee, it's something that I wanted to do, was to kind of take our brand on the road and out of state, and it's just kind of grown into this. My first thought when I started this journey was just for us to play one team in Mississippi, and then I started thinking, what if we could get kind of a showcase going, and that's turned into a $10,000 sponsorship for this thing. It's turned into a huge event, 4 games. 2 on Friday night, two on Saturday, and I've tried to manage this from a distance, and that's hard to do. But DeSoto Central, one of the schools that are in this, and the AD and myself are really good friends, and they will handle all of the on-site game day things. So it's been a work in progress, but I think people are going to get a treat. It's 4 outstanding games, 8 unbelievably good teams.
It's exciting. Can't wait for it. It's going to be a little bit different to start off the season, but hey, different is sometimes good, right?
Yes, I think our kids will enjoy it. I hope our fans will too.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, well, thanks a lot, Coach. Can't wait to get it kicked off.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll talk a little bit more later.
We saw that affect a couple local schools last night with only a 5-man crew that hurt them.
And, of course, we'll talk more about that when we talk about score updates later, because we will bring you score updates.
Got it.
So it looks like the toss.
And we're hoping you can now hear us on NFHS. And
Hillcrest won the toss and deferred, boys.
Awesome.
Okay, looks like we got those tech issues worked out. Sorry you couldn't hear us. Hey, Brad, why don't we one more time? We don't have to bring up the graphic here, Idiana, or we can momentarily while they're getting set up. But go through those keys to victory, the Bama Stuff keys to victory, real quickly, Brad.
Okay, real quick. It's all about what are the expectations of this Hillcrest team, trying to set the tone, also trying to establish newcomers. And because a lot of new positions out there. Some of them are starters coming back from last year, but we do have a few new guys. And just how do they adapt and how do they perform under the lights or here under the sun? And then for Southaven, I think it's going to be about trying to score early, because I think if Hillcrest gets a big lead, it could be shutdown time for the Chargers. But the other thing is, can their offensive and defensive line depth hold up to Hillcrest's defensive line?
Awesome.
So there you go.
You are the best, the Bama Stuff keys to victory. And now we're moving on to the Kim Harwood Real Estate Kickoff. We're ready to get started with this 2023 football season for the Hillcrest Patriots. As we mentioned, Southaven coming in 0-1, having played last week.
Brent, we talked to a couple.
Was that a jamboree game?
We talked to a couple of the Soto
both teams
coaches.
0-0.
Correct.
Okay,
So technically that was a scrimmage.
All right, here we go. Harwood Real Estate Kickoff coming your way from the foot of Hudson Hall. Total leather, and here we go. Fielded. No, it bounces at the 10 and goes back toward the end zone and into the end zone. And let's see, are we calling this a safety? Did he touch it? No, it's a touchback.
That's going to be a touchback.
Okay, let's get a replay on that, Idiana, if we can.
It
I don't know if we'll be able to
disaster.
just yet. Yeah, it hit at the 15 and bounced past the receiver and all the way back to the goal line and barely into the end zone. Hillcrest almost recovered in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, it was really, really close. They received the deep back for the Chargers, kind of let it go, and it barely crossed the goal line, Brent. It was sitting around the half-yard line for a moment. I kept thinking, jump on the ball, jump on the ball.
Yeah, the Hillcrest coverage team just couldn't get there quite fast enough. All right, so let's see what we got here. Boy, those numbers are hard to see blending in with these Boise State-looking uniforms. The quarterback, number 2, is Derek Sykes. He takes the snap, hands it off to his running back straight up the gut, and that's not going to work very much against that very strong Hillcrest defensive line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Okay, now look, here's the good news. We have a lot of people that know us, so that's good. I got a lot of texts that are saying everybody can hear us. So thank you for those updates, because we really need it, honestly.
Here's the snap. The quarterback keeper around right in, and boy, he's got nowhere to go once again. Hillcrest big number 75 there, Jamarian Hinton. But do I see a flag on the play? Or is that just my imagination? I think that was my imagination. He actually lost a yard on the quarterback keeper, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11 after the carry by the quarterback, Derek Sykes.
Yeah, I did not see 75.
It was it 75? Sure. Let's see. What did I have here? 95 maybe? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
My bad. All right, so Sykes, the quarterback, in the pistol set. Actually, we have a new quarterback in the game. This is quarterback number 9, Carson Enlow. He calls the signals, takes the snap, slings it out to the left side, but the Hillcrest defense is ready there. Oh, but he escapes. Spin move and down to about the 26-yard line. However, he will still be about 3 yards short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Chargers, and they'll kick it away.
I've seen a few teams over the years, and of course, if you've watched any football, you have too, 2-quarterback system. You know, this guy's the runner, this guy's the dual threat, this guy's the passer. Well, it looks like maybe the second quarterback is the passing threat. He does make a little nice toss out there, but it is short for the Chargers, so it looks like Hillcrest will kick. Jamison Farley back deep, and T.J. Banks.
Jamison and T.J., they kick it away from T.J., and it's a lame duck punt out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. It went out of bounds high in the air, and Hillcrest will be getting it at the 35.
Yes, that's what it looks like. No, wait a minute, here he comes. It's going to be inside the 35, 32, boys.
Wow, the 32-yard line. Hillcrest will start out there on their first offensive possession in great field position. on the first offensive series of the season. Wow.
That was good defensively, and also only a net punt of about 6 yards.
It went a lot further than that, but it went a lot further past the out-of-bounds line, and so they had to mark it where it passed the invisible plane of out-of-bounds on the sidelines. All right, so here we go. Bryson Kimbrough and company ready to start off this season for the offense for Hillcrest. Jay Brown is in the backfield with him, along with Jay Sean Land. Bryson under center takes the snap. Man goes in motion. Here's the belly G up the middle to about the 27-yard line after the carry there by Jay Sean Land. And Jay Sean comes up limping just a little bit, guys.
That's not good.
Oh,
First play is from
not.
scrimmage, and Gimpy on that left side.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out. He's hobbling toward the sideline. Oh, my goodness.
Trying to get him to go down. But he does make it off the field under his own power, but albeit on one leg.
All right, Kimbrough calling the signals from the shotgun this time. Rolls to his right. He is in trouble. Here's a flag. Kimbrough releases it, incomplete at about the 15-yard line, intended there for his receiver, Shamar Moore, but it hits the ground. Let's see what this flag is going to be.
There were 2 flags. One of them, I think, was holding. They may be both holding, but Coach Beath said somebody thought he saw a face mask. Of course, the white cap, we're in a visitor's press box, so the white cap is calling away from us, and then he only makes one call, and it's a hold. So it will be second down again, Brent.
All right, so that is a spot foul, so we'll move it all the way back to the 38-yard line, and that'll make it second down and 16 for the Pats after the holding call and the incomplete pass. All right, here we go. Shotgun, Jay Brown flanks Bryson Kimbrough to his right. Kimbrough calls the signals. Man goes in motion. Here's the snap, the release, the completion to the left side to Jamarcus Prince. He breaks the tackle all the way down to the 11-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds, and the first Stephen Fikes All-State first down of the season, and the first time that the team has ever moved into the Centel Home Design red zone.
Okay. Nice hands there by Jamarcus Prince. He kind of reached down. The ball was just a tad low, not badly thrown, but really nicely done by Jamarcus. He's a really big fella. If you've never stood next to him, I mean, he's a legit 6'2", maybe even a 6'3".
Yeah.
But he managed to get down that sidelines without stepping out of bounds prior to the first down. So great job there by Jamarcus.
All right, look at this. Caden Smith is in at the quarterback position. Caden Smith takes the snap. He's running the sweep around left end, and he gets pounded at about the 18. He picks up a couple of yards, but another flag comes in. Let's see what this is going to be.
We're thinking holding here, Brent.
Now, did you see him? I wasn't watching the white cap.
I did see it, Brent, but
Yeah,
it was pretty obvious, but I did not get a number.
It was a hold.
Well, they don't call the numbers in high school anyway, do they?
No. But
You were just trying. You were
We
just
just didn't
saying
see it.
from
Yeah.
what you were looking at. You're okay. I got you.
So what are we looking at here? 2nd and 22-ish?
Yeah,
Ball's right
somewhere around there. Yeah, second and 20. 9:11 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Hillcrest with their first possession. The defense held Southview to a 3-and-out on their first possession. Southaven, thank you. And let's see, in quarterback position now, we have yet another quarterback. Here's the pass across the middle, and it's caught by Jackson Henderson inside the 10-yard line, down to the 8. Let's get a replay on that one.
Jamison
Farley is wearing number 8 now, and he came into the game to make that throw.
Nicely done. Bryson Kimbrough came out of that play for some reason, so I don't know if that was by design, but certainly a nice little seam route by Jackson Henderson, and Jamison found him nicely. So that's going to be.
Let's go back to live.
It's 3rd and goal, or 3rd and short, rather. 3rd and short,
okay,
boys.
so he is about a yard short. 3rd and a yard from the 8-yard line for the Patriots. Bryson Kimbrough under center. The snap, the handoff to Jay Brown, up the gut. He plays his way into the end zone for the first touchdown of the season. Touchdown, Patriots. They take the early lead with 8:13 left, 6-0.
That's really good. And a nice drive of 32 yards for the first scoring drive of the year for the Patriots. And I'm going to try to keep track. I always try to keep a stat, like something that I think might be a difference maker in the game. We'll start with our first drive. 32 yards to pay dirt.
Oh, look, a little trickery here by the Patriots as it's a direct snap to Jamison Farley. He tries to throw it out to Jackson Henderson over in the corner of the end zone for a 2-point conversion, but Southaven is ready for it, and it's incomplete and no good. I keep wanting to say Southview. Why do I want to say Southview?
I don't know. You've been to middle school there before? Elementary school, maybe?
Where?
Southview Middle School. It's in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's like a city school. It's over there, behind Walmart.
Okay.
I mean, it's not right behind Walmart, but it's pretty close to Walmart.
Okay. But I'm going to try not to say Southview, and I'm going to try to say Southaven. All right, let's take a look back at that touchdown once again, Idiana. This is a new feature we have on our equipment. We don't have to just see the replays once. We can go, I think you went back to the wrong one. That's the play before, but you can let that one go ahead and go because that's the one that set up the touchdown, the completion there to Jackson Henderson down to about the 10-yard line. And now let's take a look at the touchdown. Yeah, can you get it? Can you get it? You don't have it?
I have it.
Guys, nothing says...
Okay, we still have time. Go ahead, talk, Brad.
Nothing says high school
Should be
broadcast
your most
like,
recent
let's
one.
add more features.
There you go. Hey.
But you know what? I'll tell you what. Brent
Go.
Jones is cutting edge when it comes to the features that we could potentially bring to you.
And I promise, if no matter what mistakes are made, it's not because of lack of effort from Brent Jones.
Oh, I promise you.
I'll promise you that.
The
Nor is it
level
from
of,
lack of text messages from Brent Jones.
the level
We are
of
ready
give
to
a
go.
heck
Yep.
is really high.
Really
well,
high.
thanks,
I'm telling
guys. I
you.
appreciate that. And y'all know I do a lot of theater, and I was telling
Absolutely.
Brian this the other day. I get more nervous about our equipment working and all the stuff that we're adding to it than I do performing in front of hundreds of people. This is a lot more nerve-wracking to me. All right, Harwood Real Estate kickoff, 8:13 remaining in the first quarter. Hillcrest with the lead, 6-0 after the 6-yard touchdown run by Jay Brown and the no-good extra point. Here's the kick deep and received and bobbled at the 12, but he regathers it, moves upfield, and is pounded at about the 19-yard line. So Southaven will start out there, 1st and 10.
That looked to be Cameron Jones, the defensive back for Southaven in return. It looks like a 12 to me, but I don't have a 12
That's
on the
13,
Southaven
yeah.
roster,
Cameron
so I've got
Jones,
13,
Maxwell.
yeah.
I believe we're going
Okay.
into our first extra heat timeout, guys. I think they're doing one at 8 and 4 of every quarter.
Okay. All right. Since we're out of heat timeout, Idiana, if you can load up the next commercial break, we'll take a quick break here with the heat timeout, and we will be back after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. And we're back at Bobby Franklin Stadium on the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College. Hillcrest Patriots with the lead 6-0. After the kickoff, the Chargers of Southaven will take over at their own 20-yard line. Here comes the snap. The quarterback rolls out to his right, and it is incomplete at about the 22-yard line. Quarterback in the game now, Carson Enlow once again, as that one falls incomplete to his receiver, Kamari Cross, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Look, remember, Carson Enlow is the passer, more than likely, of the two quarterbacks. And, of course, last week, remember, Southaven only able to muster 6 points in the scrimmage. You know they're looking for any sort of answer they can get, and got to start at quarterback. You got to have somebody that can move the ball, and they're going to give this guy a chance. And after 6 points in the scrimmage, why not?
Carson Enlow in the pistol set. Cameron Jones-Maxwell behind him. Enlow takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's being pressured and brought down by T.J. Grant at about the 18-yard line, loss of 2, and there is a flag on the play. Probably
I think it's holding against Southaven. That's just what I thought.
Yeah.
I saw. There were two guys that were trying to block one Hillcrest defender, and now I'm not seeing any sort of move made by the Whitecap to make a call. Of course, they're asking Hillcrest what they want to do, so they're going to defer.
Are you changing?
Now it's going to be 3rd and long after the hold, boys. So 3rd, and
Possession.
it's going to stay at 10. 3rd and 10 there from the 20. Hillcrest looking to get off the field just like they did the first series. Clock running, boys, just under 8 minutes in the first quarter.
All right, so here we go. 3rd down and 10 for Southaven. Carson Enlow, the quarterback, calling the signals. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Enlow drops straight back, looks downfield, escapes the pressure, up the pocket.
Holding.
Another flag comes in, and he is pushed out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Still 4 yards short of the first down, but probably a holding call against Southaven again. But do you take this one, guys? I don't think
way.
so.
It'll be fourth and 5-ish.
Yeah.
You probably decline this. The hold is right in the middle of the field. That umpire throws the flag. That's a pretty good indicator of what the penalty will be. And it is holding against Southaven, and it is declined.
These referees are in mid-season form with that laundry, aren't they?
I know.
That's a lot of penalties already.
Speaking of
both
laundry,
ways.
it's going to be a lot of laundry after this game.
Oh, no kidding.
Lots of sweating going on down there.
Do we have a current temperature, outside temperature here?
I'll find it.
In
I got a good link that may even tell us
Centovia,
heat
Mississippi.
index.
It's really hot.
It's really hot. Okay.
Mr. Thomas is on the roof with the camera.
Here comes the left-footed punt, a line drive.
Better
Jameson
punt.
Farley runs over to it, but it goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line of Hillcrest. Hillcrest offense with good field possession once again for their second possession. They lead 6-0, 7:11 remaining here in the first quarter.
That was a much better punt by, and it looked like Enlow. Carson Enlow was the punter, also serving as the quarterback. That's what I saw. Did you guys see the same? I thought it was the same number 9.
Can I borrow your pen for just a second, Brad?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
I'll give it right back to you.
It's
I just want to
fine
mark
this
a couple
time.
of things real quick. I'll give it right back. Promise. I promise. I'm trying to mark who my key players here are for these guys. All right, gotcha.
Okay, I got
91. Well, that's not, but it feels like 105.
Okay, here's
Heat
the good
index,
news with that. Guess what the current heat index in Tuscaloosa is?
What is that?
110.
Whoa.
So
we're 5 degrees
I
cooler.
know.
Hey, we're living the dream up here, Tuscaloosa people. Here's the direct snap to Caden Smith. Caden breaks a tackle in the backfield, but he can't find much room around the outside, out of bounds at about the 48. Actually, not a bad pickup, about 5.5 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
Are you kidding me? If you pick up 5.5 yards on first down consistently, you're going to win the ball game.
It was just deceptive because he got hit so many times. It didn't seem like he got that much.
But I agree with that now, Brent. But that was really good. Let's see, minus 43.
Bryson Kimbrough under center now. Jay Brown behind him in the backfield. Jamarcus Prince on the field to the near side. Caden Smith out wide to the right side. Here's Jay Brown
Go ahead,
the
Jay.
middle. Jay moves it across midfield, and the big blue star down to the 45-yard line. That's a Stephen Fikes All-State first down for the Pats.
I'll be interested to see. By the way, thanks again to Stephen Fikes and all the sponsors. But Stephen Fikes has been with us pretty much since the onset.
He has.
Since the inception.
This is our 10th year, yeah.
And I mean, we've got several very loyal sponsors, and we're very appreciative of all of them. But thanks again, Stephen Fikes. And I just actually spoke to him not too long ago, so thank you, buddy.
I ran into him at 5, the restaurant 5, a couple of weekends ago.
Every time I see him, I'm at a restaurant. I saw him at a Southern Ale House the other day.
He eats, I guess.
Yeah.
We all do, don't we?
Well, he's a big guy.
Okay. All right. Here's the snap to Bryson Kimbrough. He steps up into the pocket, but he is unable to escape. He's still struggling, but he's brought down in Hillcrest territory back at the 47-yard line. Big loss of about 7, and it'll be 2nd down and 13 for the Pats. They lead 6-0, 6-13 and counting here in the first quarter.
I think I liked how the officials let that play out. At first, I thought they might have a quick whistle, and then I thought Bryson was going to escape, so I'm glad that they didn't blow the whistle. But then, of course, Bryson wasn't able to escape, but it was not a quick whistle. That's just my thought about that.
Correct. Agreed.
Oh, there's
Bryson
an offsides. That's
in
offsides.
shotgun
Clearly
now.
offsides.
No call for offsides. Bryson looking to the sidelines.
I guess not.
Now changes the play at the line of scrimmage. He's flanked by 2 running backs in the backfield. Kimbrough takes the snap, throws this one down the field, and wow! Reaching up to grab it above 2 defenders is Jamarcus Prince down at the 31-yard line, and that'll be a Stephen Fikes All-State first down after the pickup of 19.
Moss, big fella.
That was
really
Moss.
nice.
Yeah, that was a Moss. Yeah,
that
agreed.
was a Moss. That looks like something I'd do to him.
You're right.
I do that to him all the time in the hallway.
or you might do it on a video game to him, but not in reality.
He just laughs at me. I try to dunk. I always pretend to dunk on his head.
That's one of those things. The DBs are shorter. Just throw it up and let the big guy go get it. Beautiful. Bryson under center now. The toss sweep around to the left side. And this is Shamar Moore. He's inside the 15 down to the 14 into the Centel Home Design red zone and another Stephen Fikes All-State first down.
One of my favorite first of all, I like all the offensive linemen, okay? I don't want to pick favorites here, but probably my favorite offensive lineman is Sean Franklin. I'm sorry. I love Sean Franklin. Now, I like Ryland Bell and Sean Rogers and Andres. I like all those guys. But I love Sean Franklin's attitude because he gets up, he's playing the guitar, he's always really happy to lead block. He just kind of loves the dirty football.
Does he play lead guitar?
Man, he plays lead block guitar.
Bryson Kimbrough under center. First down for the Pats. Shamar Moore comes in motion. Bryson rolls out to his right, being pressured and brought down back at the 29-yard line. The official goes down as well. Hopefully he's okay. But a big loss there of about 14 for the Pats on the sack.
See, that would be something that I would worry about a little bit. So far, we couple all these nice gains with big losses. And that's the only thing. You just can't couple those. It's not a good supplement or complement. Just can't have that. Plus 5, plus 10.
Second down and 23 for the Pats now.
Yeah, minus 13. That's not good.
As they mark it at the 29-yard line. Bryson looks to the sideline for the play call. Now steps up under center. Here's the snap. The quick toss out to the left side to Caden Smith makes a good move, but doesn't fool the defender completely, and he's brought down right at about the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 13.
Some good-looking wide receivers that we have out there. I mean, Caden Smith, a sophomore, and then Jamarcus Prince, of course, the big senior. Those guys are legit-looking wide receivers. I'd like to think that they'll continue to develop into a really threatening duo. And that's coupled with Shamar Moore. It looks like we're having another heat timeout, guys.
Okay, and this is a Tidwell Paint and Body heat timeout. Tidwell Paint and Body and Jason Tidwell getting some extra time here on the broadcast today because of the extra heat timeouts we're giving, right? You got that Tidwell, yeah, you got that logo. See that, Jason? I know Jason's out there watching today. He sent me a text asking where he could watch. And, Jason, we appreciate you. You know, we're talking about the loyal sponsors that we've had through the years, Brad?
Yes.
Stephen Fikes, Jason Tidwell is another one for sure.
Man, not only is Jason Tidwell a great sponsor, but remember, he was a longtime Hillcrest parent.
Right.
And so both of his babies were Hillcrest Patriots and still are. Or Patriots for life, right? So, but Lauren and Carmen, great kids.
Tennis
Love all
kids,
the Tidwells.
yes.
Well, Carmen was.
Yeah.
Lauren was just a favorite kid. We loved her, and Carmen played tennis for us. So we're big fans of the Tidwell family, and just excited to have all of them.
Absolutely.
You should see. Let me see. It's Tidwell. Oh, okay. See, I'm on YouTube. I can see the Tidwell Paint and Body timeout logo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Third and 23. This is pretty cool. Now, just keep in mind, we're on YouTube Live also, so we've thrown that into the equation. Remember, though, we will not have YouTube Live in the playoffs. Granted, we make the playoffs.
NFHS.
It's right. YouTube Live is a regular
if we make
season.
the playoffs. What?
Well, I said, just
when.
I don't want to jinx anything like you do.
When we make the playoffs. Bryson, the shotgun back to pass and being pressured again.
Oh, Lord.
Wow, and brought back at the 36-yard line.
That's a face mask.
Okay, a flag comes in. But gosh, guys, a lot of pressure from that defensive line from Southaven.
Yeah, it's a good job by Southaven defensively. A couple of guys that are really impressive so far for the Chargers. Big number 15, Jonathan Campbell. He's listed as a linebacker, but he's done a good job coming up there. Now, remember, in high school football, that is a personal foul face mask, but it will not be an automatic first down. High school football doesn't have that rule, and so it's just 15 yards. So it will still be third down, but it'll be 15 yards from the previous spot. So much better situation here is it'll be from the 21-yard line. So worst case scenario, it looks like we may potentially be in field goal range. But again, of course, third down and about 14 or so for the Patriots. So from the spot of the foul, rather, not from previous spot. So that's why it's a 9-yard gain instead of a 15-yard gain.
All right. Bryson in the shotgun formation. Jay Brown in the backfield with him. Fake sweep and a completion across the middle to Shamar Moore, and he's all the way down inside the 5-yard line to the, let's see where he spots it, right at the 5, so it will be 1st and goal. Another Stephen Fikes All-State first down, and guess what? In the Centel Home Design Red Zone once again.
Well, I love how Hillcrest has complemented themselves offensively. You know, those slant routes, those crossing routes, it keeps the linebackers honest. The belly G keeps the linebackers honest. All these things mix and match together for success.
Here's the quarterback sneak over the right side. Bryson Kimbrough.
Dead ball.
Oh, okay.
If offsides on the offense,
against
defense.
Southaven. Yep. So that'll be a half the distance mark off to about the 2.5-yard line. 3:03 remaining in the first quarter. Hillcrest up 6-0 over the Southaven Chargers here in the Farm Bureau Southeast Showcase. Game number 3, correct?
Game
yes,
number
game
3.
Number 3. All right, offense back up to the line of scrimmage, which now is the 2.5-yard line. Power set for Hillcrest. Bryson Kimbrough under center. Jay Brown behind him. Shamar Moore comes in motion. Jay Brown, he fakes it to Jay, spins forward, and into the end zone goes Bryson Kimbrough.
It's his helmet came off. I think.
Touchdown, Patriots.
No, it's not a touchdown.
It's
they call
not?
it because his helmet came off. They're going to mark him down, I think, where his helmet comes off.
Oh, let's run that one again if we can.
I think that's the point of that. Because he did not get tackled prior to the goal line, but his helmet did come off. So I'm going to guess they're just saying, hey, your helmet come off, it's dead. Is that what you surmise there?
I agree.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, here we are back to live action. And it's 2nd down and goal from about the half-yard line. Here's the quarterback sneaking. No doubt about it this time. Bryson Kimbrough is in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
We know what it takes to get it right.
To extend the lead to
Visit
12-0 here with
alabamacu.com
2:19
today
remaining.
and feel good about your money.
When the Patriot Nation gets hungry for Chinese food, there is no doubt about where to go. Lee Palace in Inglewood Village. Lee Palace has been in the same location for 20 years and loves the Hillcrest community. You just can't beat their incomparably delicious Chinese cuisine in a family-owned, friendly environment that is second to none. The folks at Lee Palace love what they do and are very passionate about providing you with the best in town. Lee Palace says, go Pats!
Actually, that'd be the 2019 best.
Look at this. Here's another 2-point conversion. And this one is good. Completed there to the Patriots. Colson free as he sneaks across to the right side. And so, but look, there's a flag on the play.
What is the flag?
Is there going to be some kind of formation or motion penalty against Hillcrest for this?
The head ref cannot call a line of scrimmage violation like that.
Well, somebody's calling something here.
Let's see what he says. Is he going to say ineligible lineman downfield? But he's still not the guy. But he's asking us.
Let's
or he's
see.
explaining.
He's walking over to explain to Coach Mitchell what the call is. And obviously, Coach Mitchell is not happy with this explanation.
Yeah.
As he rebuts his argument.
Brad, I saw him point at another official. I think Coach Mitchell's agreeing with you that it was not the White Hats'
you can't call that,
buddy.
play.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, and here's the thing. He's maybe saying he was not covered up. I mean, Colson Free was on the line of scrimmage. Excuse me, he's at the end of the. Oh, and here comes another flag. What happened?
Oh, this is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Somebody
against
said
us.
something out there about the ref's call, I believe. Oh boy, this one's going to be a very long attempt at a conversion, huh? After 15 yards gets marked off.
If you're Southaven, you take it on the kickoff. What happened this time?
Yeah, true. Good point. And the head ref is coming over and warning Coach Mitchell about maybe some of the comments that a player made to the official as they headed back out to the line of scrimmage. That's just what I'm guessing here.
Well, looks like we're going to kick it, boys, from... Looks like the ball will be marked at around the... It shouldn't... Well, it's sitting on the 8 right now. I think they'll probably take it on the kickoff, the unsportsmanlike conduct.
But, you know, if you take it here, you make it a long field goal attempt and save a point.
Yeah.
Right? Potentially.
I don't disagree with that. But I think if you're Southaven, you'd like the 15 yards?
Yeah, on offense. Yeah, not to be pinned so deep to start out. True.
Yeah.
So as it is, the extra point attempt will be a 25-yard field goal attempt by Hudson Hall. Here comes the snap, the placement, the kick is up, and it's not the prettiest kick in the world, but it goes through the uprights, and the Patriots extend the lead 13-0 on the Brandy Patterson extra point.
No flag on that play, boys. Whew. Nice.
Another sponsor there who's becoming a loyal sponsor is Dr. Brandy Patterson, second year in a row, the wife of Coach Greg Patterson.
Which I had somebody tell me we have an advertisement going on during the game.
She's clicked on the wrong thing. Sometimes the screen's really sensitive, but we got that taken care of.
I got you. Gotcha. Okay. Well, so far, so
again,
good.
if you're watching or listening, we've got new equipment here, all kinds of new tricks and devices and gadgets. In the long run, it's going to be great for us, and we're just still having some growing pains with it right now, but I think it's looking pretty good, and it's going to be a great addition for us.
A lot of positive feedback.
Right. Coach Hatton, our flag football coach, just sent us a message saying YouTube's looking great now, so we're hoping everybody's having a similar experience to Dustin Hatton.
Yeah, and you can see, of course, because of the penalty, Hillcrest will be, if you're watching on YouTube Live or NFHS, back at the 25-yard line instead of the, of course, normal 40. Southaven looking to start in something beyond the 20-yard line. They haven't been able to get cross midfield just yet.
Harwood Real Estate kickoff from the foot of Hudson Hall. It bounces and is fielded at about the 32-yard line. Returner skitters a little bit up to about the 43, and Southaven will start there with much better field position for the Chargers this time.
Yeah, and that's their first time. Remember, both possession starts for the Chargers have been right around their own 20-yard line. And then, of course, this time sitting about the 43, 42, I think is where they're going to mark it. And Southaven with their best field position of the day.
By far.
Yep.
Hillcrest off to a pretty good start so far. It hasn't exactly been pretty, but the scoreboard looks pretty, 13-0 with 2:12 remaining in the first quarter.
Let's see if the defense can keep up the good work.
Here's the snap, the handoff up the gut, nowhere to go. The Hillcrest defensive line right there. Nice tackle there. You know, you see number 9 making the tackle, and that's Adrian Love. As a defensive lineman, you're used to number 9 being Colin Dunn.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, this defense has such different looks. I love it. So right here's the 3-down lineman look.
All right, here's the rollout and the pass incomplete. Being pressured in the backfield, he has to throw off his back foot. It falls incomplete at the 50-yard line.
3rd and 10. So still,
defense is just shutting this Southaven offense down.
We felt like, and you know you always hate to say you knew, but we certainly felt like this defense had an opportunity to be elite. And it's certainly way too early to make that call, but so far so good. And now you can see the 4-down lineman look. Very versatile is this defensive front.
Carson Enlow, the quarterback, takes the snap, drops straight back, looks downfield, and this one is picked off.
Go Evan.
Picked off by Evan Williams at the 47-yard line. He moves it forward to about the 38. Evan was waiting for that one.
Nicely done by Evan from his linebacker position. Hillcrest went with the 4 defensive lineman look. Of course, as many defensive linemen as you want to put out there, Hillcrest has that number. And that looked really, really good. Evan does a great job just kind of lurking and finds the ball nicely, high points it. Nice athletic play by the big outside linebacker.
You can tell that's a smart football player play right there.
Look,
he was waiting in just the right place. He was reading the quarterback's eyes and just kind of lurked and got there where the ball was coming to, hid from the quarterback, and then plucked it out of the air for the big interception. 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 39-yard line. Bryson Kimbrough calling the signals. 1 man wide to the right, 1 man wide to the short side. Kimbrough in shotgun formation. DC Thomas goes in motion. Kimbrough will keep this one around left end.
Nice,
spins through a tackler and gets down to about the 33-yard line. Nice pickup of about 4. It'll be 2nd down. Well, we'll call it 5. 2nd down and 5.
I like that play, and Bryson's pretty tough runner, especially in between the tackles there. But look, I like the setup. You got Caden Smith on the far side. He's got single coverage. And you've got some safety help, but if you're going to run in between the tackles, those safeties have really got to pay attention to the backfield, and then all of a sudden you got wide receivers over at the top of corners. Jamarcus Prince also has shown that he's a dangerous weapon so far today.
Bryson Kimbrough, a little sweep to Shamar Moore around right in, a little reverse sweep. Shamar has the Stephen Fikes All State first down down to the 25-yard line. But as you heard the guys mention up here, a flag comes in. It's probably going to be against the Patriots.
It looks like a hold on Caden Smith, I think, is the play. Now, the good news is I've got it on YouTube on my computer, so it's a little bit delayed. It's like we used to say, what did we say, a delayed replay?
Replay delay.
Yeah, replay delay. So I'll get to watch that play in just a minute. As I'm a little bit behind on my computer in front of me. But I think the hold is on Caden Smith. It hasn't quite popped up on my feed just yet.
Well, it doesn't really matter who's it against, does it?
No, I just like to know.
The important part is that it moves it back to the 39-yard line, close to the original line of scrimmage of this drive, and it'll be second down and about 9.5. Bryson Kimbrough calling the signals under center, takes the snap. DC Thomas comes in motion. Here's a pitch out on the sweep to Jay Brown. The stiff arm, not quite enough to get rid of the defender. And Jay Brown will pick up maybe about a yard, and it'll be third down and 9.
Really good tackle there by the
Sure
Charger.
was. Looked like Jay was going to get through him.
Yeah, I thought that may have been, which did you guys think it looked like number 14 to me, although he's not showing up on my roster. I don't have a 14.
Was it not 15? I thought it was 15, John Campbell.
15's a big guy. I don't even think he's out there right now.
Linebacker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever the case is, nicely done by Southaven's defensive line.
Southaven just jumped off, but I guess they didn't go across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I guess they got back. Or didn't cross the plane, I should say. Bryson in shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Bryson dropping straight back. This one's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Tipped up in the air. Caden Smith keeps his concentration and manages to catch the deflection.
Last play of the first quarter.
And it'll be first down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Another Stephen Fikes All-State first down.
Nicely done by Caden. The tip didn't deter him, and he was able to come down. Tried to come up with a little tip deterred dedication.
All right, so that's the end of the first quarter. We'll take a break. Your score at the end of 1, Hillcrest 13,
okay?
Southaven nothing. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Podcast Network.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
At Alabama Credit Union, we know what it takes to get it right.
One more time.
Visit alabamacu.com today and feel good about your money.
When the Patriot Nation gets hungry for Chinese food, there is no doubt about where to go. Lee Palace in Inglewood Village. Lee Palace has been in the same location for 20 years and loves the Hillcrest community. You just can't beat their incomparably delicious Chinese cuisine in a family-owned, friendly environment that is second to none. The folks at Lee Palace love what they do and are very passionate about providing you with the best in town. Lee Palace says, go Pats!
Welcome back to the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College. Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong. Lean forward, Brad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Brian Pirano, Idiana Wiggins. Idiana, lean forward.
Idiana, lean forward.
We're here in
job,
the CB&S Bank broadcast booth, a new sponsor, CB&S Bank. Brad, do you want to talk about them for a second?
Well, again, CB&S Bank, a good friend of mine, Tom Collins, works for them. And, of course, he's been a loyal listener for quite some time. And usually Tom will text me and give us some feedback on what our broadcast looks like or even some score updates from around the area. Tom loves high school sports. He loves all kinds of sports. So we're appreciative of CB&S Bank, new in town, trying to get their, of course, brand out in Tuscaloosa. And we're thankful to have them as part of the broadcast. So please keep it coming. Thanks again, Tom. He said something about, by the way, maybe getting us some pins. So thanks, Tom. We'll take some. All
right, here we go. Ready to start the second quarter as we change ends of the field.
I think that's just on Mixlr, by the way.
Ask him where it is. As we change ends of the field, and Hillcrest up 13-0 here to start the second quarter. Bryson Kimbrough in shotgun formation, 3 wides to the left, 1 to the right side. He's flanked by Jay Brown, who moves from his right side to his left side. Bryson takes the snap, looks to his right, and unfortunately, Caden Smith was not looking for that one as it sailed over his head at about the 19-yard line, and he was facing the defenders just trying to block.
Yeah, he was not expecting that when he missed that call somehow. That. By the way, so far, Southaven has not crossed the 50-yard line. They got it to the 42 is as close as they got. Hillcrest now 32, 57, and 40. I say 57. That's because it was at our own 43.
The old 57-yard line. I love it.
The 57. I was just making notes. That's how far we had to go, 57 yards.
I got you.
Yeah.
Do the math, buddy. Do the math.
That's right.
Shotgun for Bryson. He takes the snap, swings this one out to the flat to the left side, and it's caught.
What a catch.
Let's see, who was that? Was that
Shamar, isn't it? No, it's not Shamar. It's is that Jay Sean?
DC?
I can't see.
Jay Sean, unfortunately.
It's DC.
DC.
Yep.
DC makes the catch at about the 25-yard line, but he is hit immediately. You're right. Nice job grabbing on to that one as he got pounded at the same time. A little pickup of about maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9.
I was so shocked that he came up with that.
Yeah.
That was really nicely done by Shamar. By DC.
A lot of effort for 1 yard.
Yeah.
All right, big 3rd and 9 from the 25-yard line for the Patriots. Here's the snap. It's going to be the little read option. Whoa, a big wide pitch to DC. He makes a great catch, stabs it out of the air. He's run out of bounds at about the 14-yard line, and I think that's going to be enough for a Stephen Fikes All-State first down.
That was a really nice pitch. Nicely done by Bryson Kimbrough to have the discipline to hold on to the ball as long as he did. And then, of course, DC did a good job catching because it was high toss. Withstood some contact, got first down, boys.
All right, 11:09 here remaining in the first half. Bryson Kimbrough under center. DC Thomas comes in motion, but this is the Billy G give to Jay Brown up the middle. He's at about the 11-yard line and tackled right there, so it'll be 2nd down and about 8. And I understand, I don't know if y'all are getting any feedback from people saying that we're freezing up at times, and I think that it's because of the heat upstairs with the camera causing us to freeze up. So we apologize for that. There's nothing we can do about the heat and the way it affects electronics. So.
Nathaniel Johnson and Jonathan Campbell from Southaven with a really nice play on that last play, Brent. Stop that belly G run with Jay. They did a good job clogging that up.
All right, Bryson under center, the power I formation. Bryson drops back, play action pass. Bryson's being pressured. He's hit as he releases it. It falls harmlessly to the turf, fortunately, at about the 12-yard line. And that's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Pats.
Look, so far, that's one of the things Southaven has done really well all game. Lots of pressure on the quarterback. That time it looked like it was the linebacker. Well, number 8, I don't have him on my roster. Maybe you have him on yours.
Notori Brown.
Okay, well, he did a good job there, Notori. Nicely done by that big fella. From his outside linebacker spot, defensive end over there on that far side of the field. And Bryson just wasn't able to get the ball off in time. Offensive line going to have to shore up a little bit of protection, but looks like somebody's taking a timeout.
It looks like Hillcrest is going to take a Tidwell paint and body timeout. We'll stay right here for this one, Brad. If we can come to a shot of the CBNS broadcast booth. Brad, let's talk about what we've done here so far. Nice 13-0 lead with 10:23 remaining in the first half. What are your impressions so far about this Hillcrest team?
Well, first of all, we've taken advantage of the good field position that we've had. We've done really well defensively. Of course, remember the first drive of the game for Hillcrest started out at our own 32-yard line. We were able to capitalize with a touchdown. The second drive started out with our own 43. I'm sorry, I think I said our own 32. It actually was the Southaven 32 to begin with. We were at our own 43 to start the second drive. Again, another touchdown. And then, of course, the turnover on the third possession of Southaven led to Hillcrest's third possession, which started at the Southaven 40, and now we're continuing that drive here. So hopefully it leads to points as well. So 3 straight drives, 3 straight pretty successful drives at worst so far. And then Southaven just hasn't been able to do anything offensively. Of course, they showed that a little bit in that scrimmage, Brent. And then, of course, it's continued on today. They've really struggled offensively. And, sometimes you ask, is it because they're not good offensively, or is it because our defense is really good? And I think we've asked the same question of our own offense, as it's gone along. And I have to admit, maybe the verdict is still out on the Southaven offense, but quickly, Hillcrest defensively is looking really, really good so far this season.
Especially that defensive line, and that's where Hillcrest is really going to be strong throughout this entire season, because they've got 8 or 9 guys that they can play on a regular basis. Bringing those guys in, keeping them fresh, and not losing a whole lot of quality when you bring in the subs, that's going to be difficult on offensive lines as you get deep into the second half especially.
8 guys rotating in and around there. That's a big number of quality players to have fresh.
All right, Bryson takes the snap, but a whistle. It's a false start against Hillcrest, so that'll back them up 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 16. And look, we can get a first down inside the 1-yard line.
Well, hey, look, whatever gets us in that pay dirt, buddy. Let's get over there on that end zone to our right, which would be the south end zone that says northwest.
South, northwest, east, north. Okay, here's a fade pattern intended for Jamarcus Prince, but it just sails out of bounds over his head. So that'll be 4th down and 16. And it looks like Hudson Hall's going to come on to attempt a field goal.
See, I'm always interested. Jamie Mitchell goes for it on 4th down more than any other coach I've ever been around.
But here you got
I know, I agree with you.
Field goal.
I agree, but I remember last year, or heck, the first year we had Coach Mitchell, and there were times where I was thinking kick or thinking punt. Nope, going for it. Nope, going for it. And then, of course, here we're kicking it, which, seems to be the right play. Not to question Coach Mitchell. I don't really care. It's like whatever he wants to do, I'm in. But
well, so far his results have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh? And I don't know if they would have been with you. All right, here's the Brandy Patterson field goal attempt from Hudson Hall, and this one is up through the uprights again. And the Patriots extend the lead to 16-0, 10-12 remaining in the first half.
I heard Brent's smarty pants comment. You know who else? Who didn't hear it? No one. No one laughed. In fact, I just got a lot of text messages that just said Brent's jokes are not funny.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did.
I didn't get it.
I believe the student body made it clear last year.
Oh, did they?
That I am funnier than you.
Oh, is that because you campaign?
Because I campaign.
I mean, are you serious? You can't campaign for your own. What are those called? What are those called?
The teacher's superlatives.
Right.
Yes.
The superlatives. It's like, hey, vote for me for prettiest. Vote for me for best dressed. Look what I'm wearing today. Look at this fresh drip.
Oh, my goodness. There was no campaigning. You are funny, okay? See, when you say things like that, it makes you funnier than me. So you're catching up. You're catching up, buddy.
Good. I got a long way to go, though, buddy. I'm playing behind the chains for sure.
Right.
Oh, man. Well, look, hey,
we have fun up here when we're up by 3 scores, 2 scores. You're right. 16 points would be 2 scores.
Whatever, Coach. No, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it's 16. Crap. Coach P and I have many times said, you can tell what's going on. You don't even have to know the score. All you have to do is listen for a second. You'll know pretty quickly whether we're winning or losing.
Right.
I believe that's the first thing we warned Idiana about last week during the scrimmage was, when we're losing, don't take anything too personally.
All right, the Harwood real estate kickoff coming from the foot of Hudson Hall after he just completed the field goal to make the score 16-0 for Hillcrest, 10-12 remaining in the first half. Here we go. Hudson approaches, toe to leather. The kick is off. It's a good deep one over the head of the receiver and into the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. And Southaven will start there, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Hudson, what I'm talking about.
Put his toe into that one, huh?
Dang, animal. Hudson Hall. Man, he got a hold of that one.
Sure did.
Okay, so look here, boys. Let's see. Real quick reset. 10-12 to go in the half.
Yeah.
16-0 Patriots.
Yeah.
Southaven with their 4th possession of the game.
Yeah.
The farthest they've made it is to their own 42-yard line.
Hold on. Time out just a second. Time out just a second.
Go ahead.
I would believe this would be a Guthrie's stat line update.
Oh, I love it.
Guthrie's stat line update, right?
Brought to you by Guthrie's.
Thanks, Guthrie's. We'll talk more about Guthrie's being on 69 South here in just a few minutes. All right, Southaven with the ball, 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. New quarterback in the game is the guy who started it off. That's Derek Sykes. He takes the snap. The option read, he hands it off, but the runner is tackled by Air, apparently, in the backfield.
Air may lead the league in tackles.
That's Cameron Jones-Maxwell, and he loses, what, about
About
3 yards, yeah.
When Coach P and I played, that's who got us the most, Brent. Yeah. No, most people didn't tackle us. It's just air.
All right, so 2nd and about 13. Here comes the snap. The option read once again.
He's holding.
And is brought down. Wow.
Kendall Moorhead.
What a tackle there by Kendall Moorhead as he grabs the jersey of the quarterback and slings him to the ground.
We all were clamoring for a hold. It looked like, CJ, maybe that was CJ Buckner being held, is what I was thinking. That's what I was seeing.
I have to say that I have a correction here. This is the 3rd guy we've seen at the quarterback position. This is number 2, Britton Stovall. I thought it was 3, Derek Sykes, but it's 2, Britton Stovall, who is listed as an athlete for his position.
Well, he looks athletic. And look, remember, for Southaven and for Hillcrest, for that matter, this is nothing more than a glorified scrimmage, right? I mean,
the snap, and Stovall back to pass, slings this one deep down the field at about the 45-yard line. The receiver goes up high but can't haul it in. It's incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 13. Southaven will be forced to punt again.
That was a really good play by Barkley Crawford. He timed that one up well. He was face guarding in that safety position and then just tipped it up, and it fell to the ground. Nobody caught it. Great job by Barkley. And then again, look, Southaven again started, what did we have them at their 20? They lost 2, so -2 on that drive. Southaven with a 0 on the last possession, so the last 2 possessions, a net average of -1.
The punter is Demario Stewart Jr., number 18. He takes the snap. The left-footed kick is away, and he kicks it high and out of bounds again. He must think the receivers are over here on the Hillcrest sideline because he keeps kicking it to them.
Keep going.
But it goes high, and when it breaks that sideline plane, it's out of bounds, and that's the line of scrimmage right there. And Hillcrest with great field position again at the 38-yard line.
Nice.
Hey, Brad, and while you got it, can you give us another Guthrie stat line update? Do you have the lengths of the drives for Hillcrest?
I sure do. So on the first drive, 32 yards for a touchdown. The second drive, 57 yards for a touchdown. And then on the third drive, we started at at the Southaven 40. I don't remember. I think that field goal, we maybe have got to the 10. What did we get to about the 10?
31-yard field goal.
So we got to the 11. No, that's not right.
We got to the 14,
14, yep. Okay. So that would be a 26-yard. And then, of course, we start here at the Southaven 38. I have to do some quick averages, but the average drive for us is not super high. But, again, we're starting with really good field position.
Right, because the defense isn't allowing the Southaven offense to go anywhere.
It's like LSU of, 2019 or something?
Yeah, Bryson Kimbrough pitches it out to D.C. Thomas around left end. He spins his way forward. A flag comes in. He's down to about the 34-yard line, but this one's probably coming back for a hold.
The umpire definitely leads the league in flags thrown today. Oh, it's an illegal cut block.
Oh, okay.
So,
You got that one in there on your penalties description, Brian? Illegal cut block?
Okay, here's the cool thing.
I don't blame David on that one.
Look, if you're watching on YouTube live, we have this really cool feature.
Another new bell and whistle.
Yeah, and actually, David Jones, who's a good friend of the program and good friend of the family, did a great job. He actually made this program for us.
A little score strip that you see in the left-hand corner.
Yeah, it's really neat. And, of course, Coach P has a lot of control over that and types in the things, and that's what you see on YouTube TV. This guy's totally in the line. I mean, he's totally in the neutral zone.
The snap to Bryson, back to pass being pressured in, but he zips this one complete to Caden Smith at 37. Makes a spin move around the defender, and Caden is in the end zone. Let's go. Touchdown, Patriots. Wow. On the touchdown pass of 48 yards from Bryson Kimbrough to Caden Smith.
All right, what is one thing that you saw right there, guys, that you haven't typically seen when Bryson has dropped back to pass?
Time.
He was a protected pocket passer that time. And then he was able to deliver a strike who came on and looked like a little 3 route for Caden Smith, and it was open, widely open.
Something else, Brad. Caden Smith has another level. Because that quarterback even had an angle.
And he put the Jets on,
absolutely.
Didn't he?
He did that little stutter step, and then that kid barely laid a hand on him.
Spin move, and then, so let's see. From the 48-yard line, Caden Smith right there at the 39 does a spin move and then takes off and gone.
The Brandy Patterson extra point coming your way. Dr. Brandy Patterson, thank you so much for another good extra point from Hudson Hall. With 8:07 remaining in the first half, Hillcrest extends the lead to 23-0.
That is really, really good. And that puts us up 4 scores, boys. No, still 3 scores, sorry. 23-0, that's 3 scores, my bad. Let's see.
Can you fix that? See how it's too wide right there? It's a little bit too much.
Well, look, here's the thing. This is pretty fun. I mean, 23-0, 4 drives, 4 scores. Look, I'm trying to do some quick math. We're sitting somewhere in the average drive range of about 40 yards. Now, look, that's not to say it wouldn't be longer if we had worse field position. But if you're Southaven, you got to make us earn it a little bit more. Like, get over across the 50. And not trying to slam them, I'm just saying, key to victory for Southaven would be to try to move across the 50. And, you know, one of the keys to victory prior was to see if Southaven could, if their offensive line could withstand the Hillcrest defensive line. So far, they're losing that battle.
No,
Sorry, Brad.
sure.
In addition, keeping that defense on the field that much in, what do we say, 105-degree heat index right now, no matter how well conditioned you are, that's going to start to take a toll on you.
And, you know, we're sitting in here with an AC in this booth, and it's still extremely hot with that sun coming through this window.
Guys, the average
when
drive.
Kevin hears us complaining about air condition, he may come down through the ladder.
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just making a comment on how hot it is because it's still even hot in here.
The average drive so far for Hillcrest is only 38 1/4. 38 yards a drive. That's it.
Here's the kick. It's more of a line drive from Hudson Hall this time, and this one evades the return man and goes into the end zone, so Southaven will start 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line after that hardwood real estate kickoff from Southaven.
Okay, here's the other interesting stat that is totally unofficial, and it's just me sitting here trying to, deduce. But Southaven, did they even have double-digit yardage? I don't think so. I mean, did they have? Okay, here's a question: did they have a first down?
Have they picked up a first down? They did through penalty, right?
Right. Well, did they? I don't think so.
I don't know.
The first drive of the game, they punted. Remember, it was an awful punt on the far side of the field, and they didn't get past the 30.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. The second drive, similar. Third drive was the pick, and they didn't gain a yard before the pick. The fourth drive was -2. And so they've got to be sitting somewhere right around single digits, maybe 9 yards positive.
Wow.
I'm not sure they've gotten to 10.
Is this the heat timeout right here?
It is.
Yes.
It's the 8 o'clock heat time.
All right, let's go ahead and take another break here at the heat timeout. We'll be back. Hillcrest leading 23-0. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
The University of Alabama alumni, students, and fans since 1939, Bama Stuff is the perfect place for all your Bama merchandise needs. They have a large selection of Nike official on-field apparel, as well as everything you need for the perfect game day experience. Come see our exclusive in-house design Bama apparel and souvenirs to help you stand out. Located on the heart of the Strip on University Boulevard, in the shadow of Bryant-Denny. They're open 7 days a week or shop online anytime at BamaStuff.com. Bama Stuff is proud to be UA alumni and veteran owned and operated.
Back here on the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College, it's hot outside, and the Hillcrest Patriots are on fire as well, leading 23-0 here with 8:07 remaining in the first half. Southaven with the ball once again in their own territory, back at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, following the touchdown by Caden Smith for Hillcrest from the pass. And there's a reverse around right in, but the Patriots are there. They sniff it out. Great job by A.J. Quarles making the tackle in the backfield. He'll lose about a yard on the reverse.
So even after a play that looked like they might have some positive yards, A.J. Quarles does a really good job on the backside for a play of -1.
2nd down and 11 now. They're just pulling out all the stops, trying to figure out some way to get some positive yardage, but not an easy thing to do against this stout Hillcrest defense. Quarterback back in the game, Carson Enlow. They're going to try to air it out a little bit here, I believe. Enlow swings it out to the flat around to the left side, and he's got nowhere to go. There's A.J. Quarles once again with a little help there from the Pats' Jose Chisholm, and it is another loss of about a yard on the completed pass, and it will be 3rd down and 12 from the 18.
Guys, I don't know what we can just say about what sort of animal swarm, but as soon as that kid caught it, there were no fewer than 5 Hillcrest Patriots that zoned in on him. It was like murder hornets. I don't know. Maybe
Murder hornets.
I
What happened to the murder hornet invasion?
Golly, they zoned in on that kid. He was done.
They came to Northwest Community College.
Yes,
Right.
they sure did.
Carson Enlow takes the snap. Little draw play around the right side. There's A.J. Quarles again coming up and assisting with the tackle. But a nice
close.
job also there by the Patriots. Doug Jones making the tackle.
Doug Jones. He was a great sportscaster for CBS 42 for a long time. Wasn't that guy's name? Doug Jones?
Yeah.
Married to Barbara LeDunn?
Barbara LeDunn?
Isn't that her name? What's her name?
Brenda.
Well, Barbara's her sister.
We're talking
I'm just
about
kidding.
we're talking about old Birmingham news celebrities here.
Well,
What does this
Doug
come
Jones.
to?
Doug Jones was a celebrity in Birmingham for a long time.
4th and 2, and the punt will be coming from Southaven once again. But whistles, a pre-snap penalty here, and it's going to be a false start against Southaven. So they'll back it up to kick it away. Once again, the punter, Demario Stewart, will take a few steps back and put his left foot into it here in just a moment.
Okay, just so everybody's aware, that last draw play certainly got Southaven into the double digits of total yardage. I don't know exactly where, but my calculation is somewhere around 17.
Look at this. They're really wanting TJ Banks to get his hand on the ball. Left-footed kicker is going to kick toward the left sideline, but no, he doesn't. Instead, he kicks it down the middle for Jamison Farley, who makes the fair catch at the 43-yard line. Hillcrest doing their best to put TJ Banks into position to get his hands on the ball in those punt returns and trying to guess where the punter's going to put it. But he saw him over there and went away from him.
He definitely wants the ball. Of course, the Ole Miss commit on the near side of the punt return team, looking to get the ball. And you know, the good thing is this Hillcrest offense has tried to find different ways to involve him offensively. I've seen it.
He hasn't here tonight.
Not
or
tonight,
today, right?
but in the scrimmage that we all went to, you know, they threw an out route to him. Of course, direct snap has been a few times utilized to get him the ball. In the spring game against Mountain Brook, they direct snap to him. So TJ Banks, even if he doesn't get the ball much today in a game where we're already up 3 scores, look for number 3 to be an offensive weapon, despite the fact that he's committed to play at Ole Miss as a defensive player.
You know, something unfortunate, I hope it's not anything too serious, but on the first play from scrimmage, Jay-Sean Land came up limping, and we have not seen him back in the game. And he's an important factor for this offense this year. There's a lot of depth on offense, but this was going to be his year to shine at the running back position. And let's hope he's okay, and they're just holding him out because they don't need him.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You know, the number one, he was able to hobble off on his own power, so that's a good thing. Not saying it's a good thing that he was injured, that's for sure. But being able to get over to the sidelines on his own is a positive. Number 2, we're up 3 scores, Brent, and I think, and obviously you said it, there's no point, correct. So, you know, as long as that maintains, then hopefully we see Jay-Sean, of course, next week. Tough matchup as we travel to the east side of Montgomery to take on Pike Road, and that will certainly be a battle and something that we probably will need Jay-Sean for, so hopefully he'll be okay for that one.
But what depth this team has this year, and I want to get into this in a few minutes, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on Hillcrest High School this year.
Well, I don't know. I mean, aren't we ranked like number 5
6
or something?
Number 6,
6, okay.
Here is a pitch out to D.C. Thomas around right in. D.C. moves it up to the 49 on the little toss sweep coming around from the left end. Nice pickup of about 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
One of our good friends of the broadcast, Dr. Bill Ashley. Hillcrest defense swarms like velociraptors. Okay. That's definitely on the ballot. We're putting that one to be voted on.
You know, we're getting a lot of comments on the YouTube Live as well.
Okay.
Now that's got to be offside.
I was like, okay.
Okay, finally they threw the flag. His hand almost touched the ball. you got to call that offside.
Yeah, definitely. Where are you seeing that? I'm on YouTube Live. I got to pull that back up. Is it because you're the guy?
No, it's the live chat on the side.
Right. Oh, okay. I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We'll try to keep up with the comments over there, too, so keep us posted. Well, of course, we want to be as interactive with our listeners as possible. So many of you guys text me, so thanks again. If you put some comments on YouTube Live, we'll certainly try to watch those. If you have any questions for the broadcast, then we will try to answer those as well.
Okay, here's the snap from under center. Handoff to Jay Brown.
Go ahead.
He runs over a defender, still running over defender, slinging him to the ground, all the way down to the 22-yard line. What a run by Jay Brown of about 25 yards. We got to check that one out on the replay. Here we go. Jay Brown just running through Southaven defenders like they were little kids.
Dang, Jay. Man, look like a 93 two-door Tahoe. That thing was just rumbling and bumbling and running people over. The two-door Tahoe, a very underrated vehicle, and so is Jay Brown.
All right, let's go back to live action here because the play is about to start. Bryson Kimbrough in shotgun takes the snap.
Get outside.
The sweep around the right side to D.C. Thomas. He's inside the 10 down to the 9. Stephen Fikes All-State first down. Will be first and goal in the Centel Home Design red zone.
Did you guys see the Jay Brown block that time? He comes around. He's a lead blocker. He gets out and seals the edge. Really nice block that time by Jay. DC with a nice explosive carry, but Jay Brown, along with a bunch of offensive line ugly kids, man, they got out there and got after it. Great job, fellas.
All right, Bryson under center as Hillcrest threatens to extend this 23-0 lead. 3:48 remaining in the first half. First and goal from the 9-yard line. The snap, the handoff to Jay Brown over left guard. He's down to the 5.5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal for the Pats.
And why wouldn't you want to give the ball to Jay there? Of course, DC... and we got another heat timeout. Are we staying on the air, guys?
We're going to stay here,
okay. A couple things, though. Jay and DC both have had a really nice drive here for Hillcrest offensively. And, one of those guys needs to get credit with this one. Hopefully we can put it in the end zone. And one of those guys needs to be having the ball in their hands, just in my opinion. After the drive they've had.
And I will say, I think the offensive line deserves some credit. Certainly some of the pass blocking, they may have struggled a little bit, but their run blocking the last couple drives has been superb. And that maybe even extending beyond the O-line, the wide receivers, like you said, the running backs, all of them are helping spring some of these bigger runs for us.
I started to say this, and I'll kind of follow up on this a little bit more in depth. I think people are sleeping on Hillcrest because we put 11 players from last year's team, seniors, onto the next level playing football. That's a lot of good players to lose and a lot of players to replace. And I think when people see that on the surface, they think, oh, well, it's going to be a rebuilding year. These players don't have experience, that kind of stuff. But Coach Mitchell lives by the philosophy, tradition never graduates. And we're coaching next year's team today. And you can see that kind of thing through the development of these players and the quality of the play that they have right now as these fill-ins coming in for all these players who graduated. And other people just take that for granted, don't rank us as highly as they should. Yeah. And they're going to learn their lesson before this season's over, if today's any indication.
Well, we certainly hope so.
And I think also Coach Mitchell's philosophy is all the coaches coach all the teams. The freshman team is not isolated from the varsity. The JV's not their own entity. It's all just one group coached by everybody.
Right.
So when they get to this level, it's as seamless as possible.
Right.
Something else I'd like to give a shout out to, Ladarius Dumas is out there. He's the head coach of the Duncanville Middle School team.
Love that guy.
And he is out there helping. He made the trip with us. He's wearing Hillcrest attire, of course, but he is out here helping our team.
Great.
And that's a big move by him. And also, not only does that help our team, but it helps his team. You really want that continuity, so good for Ladarius.
Bryson under center takes the snap, hands it off to Jay Brown up the gut, bullies his way across the end zone, into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Yes.
They extend the lead to 29-0 here with 3:21 remaining in the first half.
We've got to come up with some sort of nickname for the two-door Tahoe. I'm not sure that's it. I don't know that fits, Jay, but certainly I like it, man.
It's got alliteration.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure, I'm not sure it needs alliteration. Maybe it just needs his.
Every nickname has to have alliteration.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Great drive and also fitting. After the drive, I thought it was really fitting that he got the touchdown.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
Hudson Hall on for the Dr. Brandy Patterson extra point attempt.
Looks like his shoulder may be a little shaken up on the play, but really good. Really
snap,
well done.
the placement, good scoop there by Jamison Farley, getting the ball into position, and the extra point is up and good, 30-0. Patriots, 3:21 remaining in the first.
Brian, you said good hold. You said that, and then Brent, of course, woo! Guys, how many times over Jamison Farley's career have we said that?
On the very first extra point, the snap was probably face mask high to Jamison.
Yeah.
Caught it in stride, put it down, no delay at all. And then this one, the opposite one. It almost short hopped him, caught it clean.
It's those baseball skills.
It is baseball skills. He's got great hands. He's a heck of an infielder. And then, of course, shows those skills out here. Of course, he's a sure-handed kid, not only as a holder, but as a punt returner. And then, of course, as a quarterback.
Right. And, I know Jamison's dream is probably to be the full-time quarterback.
Yeah.
But he unfortunately hasn't gotten there. But, man, he contributes in so many different ways.
Well, here's the funny thing. His dad and I were having a conversation. I think you guys have been part of that, too, Brad Farley. He's asked how many kids – we had this discussion. Has any kid that played for Hillcrest scored the ball or scored for Hillcrest in more ways than Jamison has? 2-point conversion, touchdown run, touchdown pass, touchdown catch. Two-point conversion throw. I mean, so many different ways. I just don't even know.
I can tell you one.
Yeah.
You're right, but I can tell you Jay Bramlett.
Yeah.
Jay Bramlett in one game had 6 touchdowns. He caught a touchdown pass, threw a touchdown pass, ran for a touchdown, or he threw several. But he did it several different ways. Here's the Harwood Real Estate kickoff fielded this time at the 5-yard line. Nice kick by Hudson. And the return up to about the 22-yard line. Is that the best starting field position for Southaven today?
No, they did start at their own 42 one time.
Oh, that's right.
After the field position with the personal foul that we had.
Okay.
But 22-yard line there, that's a pretty good starting position for the Chargers. But look, again, Hillcrest started at their own 45-yard line that last touchdown drive, boys. So 55 yards led to 7 more points. And so Hillcrest's average drive, let me do some quick math.
Thanks for the Guthrie stat line update, by the way.
And by the way, speaking of Guthrie's, wouldn't you love to have some Guthrie sweet tea right now?
Sweet tea on the hot
that sounds like
day.
That would be nice.
Except that sounds like a kidney stone to me. But, man.
All right, first down for Southaven. Here's the snap to Enlow.
Get in there, Adrian.
Handoff. Adrian Love pressure him, and Adrian brings him down back at the 18-yard line.
Man, nicely done. The sophomore sensation. He had a really good year last year as a freshman. Of course, Adrian just kept pursuing. And Enlow, he waited for him. It looked like he thought he was totally clear of the kid. Stood up like he was getting his feet set to throw it downfield, and then he got popped from backside. Nicely done and good pursuit by that defensive line. We've talked about him a lot. Very versatile. 3-man down lineman look here.
Second down and 12 after the loss. Enlow hands it off this time. Flag comes in. Nowhere to go as that swarming Hillcrest defense brings down the running back at about the 20-yard line.
I got 41.6, boys. 41.6 is our average drive distance so far, which has led to 30 points.
But you kind of have the feeling, though, if Hillcrest were starting at the 1-yard line, then they would have a 99-yard drive.
Yeah, well, that's so far.
But it's because the defense has given them such a short field over and over again.
You know what's funny? You were talking earlier about you got to get your defense off the field, and it's true. You got to get your defense off the field, and that's really more of a mindset to get your offense the ball, right? But how many times have you ever said, well, we got to get that offense off the field? Turn around, TJ. No.
Here's a deep pass to Carson Enlow. Carson
Enlow
throws it.
That's a good
He
call.
tripped him.
Yeah,
TJ Banks
he fell down
got his legs caught up with. Got his legs caught up with the receiver. So that's going to be a defensive pass interference against TJ Banks there.
Okay, look, that's fine. That saves 6 points.
Agree.
So 15-yard penalty for 6 points. Good, we'll take it. But, at first, I'm so quick to want all the calls to go for us, and they just don't
really
work out
I've never
that way.
noticed that about you.
I know.
I'm all for a couple calls going for them when we're
You're
up
a complete
30 to
professional.
We'll even it up on 30 to
I'll tell you what. When I think of the consummate professional, I think of me.
Yes, you're so objective.
I know. I'm
not a homer at all.
None. Not whatsoever. I tell you, when I think of Alabama High School Athletic Association and the idea of sportsmanship, I just exude sportsmanship.
They have your picture by the sportsmanship
definition. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, get
Here's
in there.
the snap, the handoff, and nowhere to go again for the running back. He manages to break a couple of tackles and get down to about the 37-yard line, a pickup of about 2. But, man, what a swarming defense. We just can't say it enough.
Yeah, and that time, actually a positive game for the Southaven Chargers. That pickup of 2 has been one of their better plays of the day offensively. That's not to throw shade at Southaven. I'm serious. And a team that is barely in double digits of positive yardage, anything that's positive for Southaven is certainly good for, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So the two yards, they'll take it.
The snap and the fake handoff and the pass deep down the sideline. TJ Banks. TJ Banks was there. I think a little hand action going on.
Both of them are doing it.
Yeah, but I think they're going to call defensive pass interference against TJ Banks again. But that one bounced off of TJ Banks' chest as he tried to make the interception. But it's going to be pass interference against Hillcrest.
Well, that stinks. I mean, I don't even know if that's the right call. I guess it's the right call. I mean, the thing is,
it always goes against the defender.
It does. You're probably right. But the kid just fell down. And look, here's the other thing, and Coach Mitchell's saying that. The side judge that's right there in front of the play didn't throw the flag, and the back judge does. I mean, of course, it only takes one of them to see it, and it's not like I'm going to like the call when it goes against us.
1:03 remaining in the in the first half. 30-0 Hillcrest. Southaven now in Hillcrest territory at the 49-yard line after the penalty. In low back to pass, throws it across the middle, and this one is picked off at the 35-yard line. Lying in wait for the Patriots there.
Kamari Patton.
Yes, is Kamari Patton, big number 0.
Man, I love it. Kamari Patton coming over and making the play there. Look, and that's what you want your free safety to do, just kind of lurk around, see if you can play the ball. It did a really, really good job seeing it come across the middle. And, of course, Southaven trying to press, trying to move the ball. Good for them. Continuing to fight are the Chargers. And Hillcrest defensively just continuing to show up. Aside from the penalties, boys, that got Southaven a 30-yard positive move on the field, still not much going.
Was that the first time Southaven has been in Hillcrest territory at the 49 of Hillcrest?
Okay, but let me ask a question. Where did the snap of the ball take place?
The 49 of Hillcrest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was the other side of the 50.
They barely made it across the 50.
Yep. Well, okay, Southaven fans, I'll give you a good stat. A couple of years ago, the same exact thing happened to Hillcrest in the first game of the year at Oxford. We couldn't get across the 50. The only time we did was by penalty, I think.
I think we had one first down that first half.
And that game was tough to watch. But eventually, you know what happened at the end of that season? We lost in the state semifinals to Wetumpka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to really tell much about the beginning of the season. I mean, if you start off slowly. If you start off quickly, that's usually a pretty good sign that you've got things together.
Well, we hope so. We certainly hope so.
But, there have been a lot of mistakes in this game, a lot of penalties especially.
Lots of penalties, which you would expect. You would anticipate in the first game of the year.
Season, yeah.
So that's not completely.
It's not like we're perfect up here, right? First game of the season.
I don't know. We're pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, just ask.
Here's the toss sweep to D.C. Thomas, who lined up in the backfield. He'll pick up a couple down to the 34-yard line, second down and 9.
Don't just ask us. Ask anybody. I'm just kidding. That's an inside joke for the Armstrongs.
They give him 1, second down and 9. 38 seconds and counting here in the first half. Hillcrest up 30-0 and in no hurry here. Probably just going to let this one run out after one more play. Wow, 30-0, guys.
I know. Well, I will say this. It's. I'd like to get another. Well, I don't know. It's only 15 seconds.
Here's a handoff over left guard to Shamar Moore. He's stopped basically at the line of scrimmage, maybe about a half yard. It's third down. time will expire in the first half. At the end of one half, Hillcrest with a commanding 30-0 lead over the Southaven Chargers. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the Stephen Fikes halftime show right after this. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Have you heard about Linked for Life with Lori Lynn? Hillcrest Football's longtime friend and supporter is offering this new permanent jewelry service, and here are the reasons you should give it a try. You'll have no hassle to find jewelry in the mornings. It's low maintenance. It's water resistant. It goes with everything. It's tarnish resistant. It's classy and timeless. It's fun to do with friends. It's easy to take off if you need to, and simply because you want to. Contact Lori Lynn at 205-886-3093 and get Linked for Life today.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
At Alabama Credit Union, we know what it takes to get it right.
One more time.
Visit alabamacu.com today and feel good about your money.
All right, we are back here at Northwest Community College, Northwest Mississippi Community College, as the Hillcrest Band takes the field, and we're going to be watching them from behind because, of course, they're playing to the home crowd. But we're going to take a minute here. Well, actually, we can't even hear the band because we're not set up with a microphone to be able to pick them up. Is there like a condenser microphone up there on that camera, Kevin? Is there a microphone at all on that camera?
Oh, there is.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, we'll get a nice shot of the band from behind. I don't know if that'll do us any good, so we'll probably. Huh? That you said it wasn't turned on.
No, it's on.
It's on. Okay. We'll see if we can get some sound from the. Let's see. Well, that's me there. But the band hasn't started playing yet. Again, technical stuff, y'all. We're trying to work out on the fly here. If we can pick up the sound of the band here in just a minute, we'll let you watch the band as they perform from behind, and hopefully we'll be able to hear them. Don't know if we'll be able to or not. We'll see here in just a moment. And you might lose us on Mixlr momentarily while the band is playing, but we'll be back. We should have these bugs worked out next week. The band works their way out onto the field now. Again, update for you. 30-0 in favor of the Patriots here at halftime over Southaven in the opening game of the 2023 season. Welcome to the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show, which includes a performance by our band as they're getting ready to begin again, and we'll get them hopefully here in just a few moments. But if we're not able to hear the band, then we'll just come back to the booth and you'll have to listen to us chat some more. And I know that Kevin Thomas is thankfully off of that roof and in here for a little break at halftime. Kevin definitely earning his pay today. But you're doing a great job, Kevin. My what now? I hadn't got the invoice yet. Okay. Well, you're definitely earning whatever you invoice us today. Don't know what the delay is with the band, but apparently they're having some kind of technical difficulty. Wow, imagine a technical difficulty. Who has those? Not us.
Here's
that's
the
for
other
sure.
thing. Imagine, bless their hearts. First of all, one thing I want to say is imagine standing out there, just standing, waiting, and you're like, man, it's hot. Let's go.
Yeah, I can see Megan Miller down there fiddling around with equipment and stuff, trying to figure out what's going on.
Here they go. They're about to start.
All right. Have you got the camera, the HDMI 1 audio on? Try that. HDMI 1 audio. Bring it up as loud as you can. But they're not even playing yet, so it's hard to tell. They're still all right, guys, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and bring it back to a shot here in the booth. We'll continue on with the Stephen Fikes Stephen Fikes All-State halftime show, and we'll talk about this game. Guys, Hillcrest just dominant. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, 30-0, dominant Offensively, yes, but primarily dominant defensively. This defense is just a bunch of swarming monsters out there, just totally dominating that offensive line of Southaven. They cannot get anything going. Let's see, we've got the band going now.
I do want to say something about the band.
I wonder if we can hear them.
I can hear them, but I can't. I mean, obviously,
I wonder if we can hear them through the broadcast. I don't know.
Credit to the band. You know, they've grown immensely. Last year, I think we had, you know, and they look great. We had 29 members of the band who played an instrument last year. This year, it's up to 63. So really proud of them. And, of course, great job by Chase Moore and
all right,
and Megan Miller. Great job they do.
Let's stop talking and see if we can let our listeners listen in on the band. I don't know how well we're going to be able to hear, but we'll give it a try. And if not, you can just watch them, right? And we'll take a quick break and be back after the band performs.
YouTube sound. If anybody listening, YouTube sound come back on.
Okay. Yeah, we're back.
I think
we're
you
back.
can hear
We're
us
back.
now. So
Okay,
I think
sorry.
we fixed that, and we appreciate everybody letting us know when that sound did go out. Thank you, Ms. Harbison.
Okay, so since our sound was out, let's go ahead and recap with the Guthrie stat line that we had here for Hillcrest and total yards with 245 yards for the first half for Hillcrest. 103 yards on the ground and 142 yards through the air for Hillcrest. Now, you guys, let's see, who won in your guesses for the Hillcrest total yards?
I don't know. I was
What was
a
the
little.
total?
You said 200. I said 211. I think I had a pretty,
245.
Oh, he
I had a
won.
pretty,
Yeah, he won.
pretty big advantage going second on that one. So
Okay.
I'll lead us off here.
But here's the Guthrie stat line of the game so far for me is the total yards for Southaven. Go ahead and take your guess.
Well, Brad and I think we're kind of both cheating here. We're talking about it a little bit during the last commercial break, and I think both of us agreed under 30. So I'm gonna go with 25 yards, with the majority of those coming on that final possession.
I'm even going to go lower. I'm going to say 19.
Guys, are you ready for this? 14 yards. Wow. 14 yards total offense. 2 interceptions for the Hillcrest defense. How many sacks? At least
it doesn't feel like a lot of sacks.
A lot of tackles for loss.
Well, tackles for loss.
Yeah.
I guess you don't really call them sacks,
Yeah.
but a lot of tackles for loss. Amazing. Let me see if I can find a few. All right, the passing yardage for Hillcrest, 7 for 10 for Bryson Kimbrough for 123 yards. Jamison Farley is 1 for 2 for 22 yards. Let me see what else we've got here for Southaven. Passing statistics, 2 for 9 for 7 yards. That's it.
Dang.
What is it?
2 for 9
for 7 yards
total.
They've completed 2 passes for 7 yards.
What is their rushing totals? I mean, they've run it.
5 yards rushing.
7 yards.
7 yards.
7
I know,
yards
but I'm
rushing,
saying, like,
7
how many
yards passing.
carries, though, is what I'm asking.
How many-
they got like 14 carries.
I'll have to go back. This isn't easy to get back to, but give me just a second
okay.
and
You
I'll
don't
be
have
there.
to do it.
Okay, no, I can. Let's see. Rushes, 12 attempts for 7 yards. Did you hear me?
I did 12 rushing attempts for only 7 yards. I think that speaks to what we were speaking about pregame a little bit with how stout that defensive front 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it may be, Brian.
You know, we're here in the CBNS Bank broadcast booth, and people are getting all kinds of views of how it really goes and how hectic and chaotic it gets sometimes as Kevin Thomas has to step over 3 chairs and knock people around and climb up a clanky ladder up to the top of the press box.
If you're CBNS Bank, you're getting your money's worth on the in-studio shot.
That's exactly right.
Man,
We can multitask just like they can. Give them a chance.
man, that's true. That's good.
Okay, let's move along here. Obviously, Hillcrest up 30-0 at halftime. Let's move on to our Mark Nelson college preview. And let's talk about college football a little bit because college football is starting in earnest tomorrow, correct?
That's right. Today.
Today. Well, I'm thinking it's Friday, right? But it's
Notre
Saturday.
Dame's about to kick off in Dublin soon.
Okay. Not a whole lot of big games going on today, but I just kind of wanted to talk about the state of college football in general. It's changing so much, especially with the realignment. And the thing that gets me, I mean, these teams, these colleges from all over the country, geography matters no more regarding conferences. When you have California potentially being in the Atlantic Coast Conference, they are literally on the Pacific Coast, and they're going to be in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That's the complete other side of the country. College football is just crazy right now.
It's amazing. And then the other day, I saw on Twitter there was a discussion about who would immediately try to join up with the Mountain West and the Pac-12 remainers. You know, you still got Oregon State, Washington State, Cal, and Stanford, who are left with basically no home. And there was a tweet about who would potentially join, maybe the Mountain West, and they would join up for a new Pac-12. I don't know what the new conference would be called. But immediately, the interesting things that stood out to me, 2 schools applied to be in that conference, South Florida and Tulane. And I was like, South Florida and Tulane want to be in the same conference with Oregon State and Washington State.
In the Mountain West.
not too many mountains.
Here's what I propose. Here's what I propose. If you're making all these changes, at least make it make sense with the names of these conferences.
Well, I mean, the Big Ten with 18 schools.
Yes.
And the Big 12 with 14 schools.
And the Pac-12 with 4.
Yeah, I know, right.
The Pac-12 minus 8. Let's call it the Pac-12 minus 8.
It's almost like the pitiful athletic conference instead of the Pacific Athletic Conference.
But, I mean, how hard would that be? I mean, we're killing all these other traditions with all the rivalries and stuff.
I mean,
we might as well kill the traditions with the names.
I mean, I think they eventually sell each conference to a sponsor, and it becomes the Tostitos, West Coast, whatever.
Okay. No,
and
just the Tostitos
Correct. Yep.
That's a really interesting. Speaking of college sports and that, and obviously we got some other things to talk about, but this was interesting. Food City just gave the University of Tennessee $20 million. All right, $2 million per year for the next 10 years.
Huh.
That's more than what Rupp has on their current deal with, I think, Kroger or somebody. Anyway,
so it's
long story
Kentucky
short,
Rupp Arena.
it's going to be Thompson Bowling Arena at the Food City Center. And so they were talking yesterday about what are the naming rights going to be and when would Neyland be next. Oh. And they were talking about, there's too much tradition or whatever. But then they're like, who cares? It's all about money.
Tradition is out the window now
and
in
so
college
Brian
football.
Denny
It's all a business
and all these
now.
names. But I like
But not
that
Brian
idea.
Denny. How dare
that's
you?
What I'm saying.
How dare you?
Yeah, but see, there were a lot of Tennessee people that said exactly that, Brent.
Yeah, but that's Tennessee.
Well, I'm saying, and there's a lot of tradition. Obviously, our stadium's older than yours, so and classier. So, no, I'm just kidding. It's obviously a pretty stadium. I mean, Brian Denny is too. But anyway, whatever the case is, that naming rights, I think that's probably a good idea. Because then, and then they're talking about the college football playoff that will be next year.
Right.
Not this year, but next year with the 12 teams and how those teams might qualify. That's a really big deal. And having those geographic, the nomenclature of geography is gone.
Right, we have to completely get rid of that.
Yeah. So, except now I will say, at least the Southeastern Conference has maintained its geographic identity.
For the most part.
I know Oklahoma, but Oklahoma and Texas, not necessarily Southeast, but they're Southeasterner than
At least
Washington.
they're in the South.
Right.
At least they're in the South, right?
So, I don't know.
But Washington and Cal going to the ACC, that's just ludicrous.
And Clemson and Florida State have basically put themselves on the market. Hey, somebody pick us up so we can get out of this ridiculous ACC contract.
And how long can Notre Dame not do something?
Right. And they've got to join the Big Ten.
Correct.
They've got to join the Big Ten.
It totally makes sense for them to be in the Big Ten.
Yes. Of course, they want to be in the ACC for the purposes of winning, but now it's going to be defunct when Florida State says, see ya. I don't know. It's crazy.
All right, and there you have it, your college football preview for week 1 of high school football. Next week, we'll start getting into our college picks.
Wait a minute. Don't we get to say who we think's going to win the national championship? Because I wanted to say Tennessee. Okay. All right. I'm done. All right.
Okay, you pick Tennessee.
Brent, I think you and I will say Alabama wins 2-1.
I pick Alabama.
2-1.
Yes,
Sounds good.
okay.
Yep.
2-1.
I'm so sorry.
What a surprise.
What do you know?
We're not homers for our college teams either, are we?
Jeez. What do you know? You guys pick Bama.
Yeah, how about that?
It's like somebody in this booth picking,
Let's see, where is Tennessee? Where is Tennessee in the rankings?
One poll they're 10th, one poll they're 12th.
How exciting to have both those teams in the top 10, huh?
Well,
of course, it's a down year for Alabama, only being 4th.
I know. That's the sad thing. I think there are a lot of, honestly, that's a really good school, a really good team, and a really good year that they had last year, but obviously not up to the recent standards, and that's the way it goes.
But that remains to be seen. I think that Alabama is very similar to Hillcrest, and a lot of people are sleeping on Alabama.
Well, I mean, last year, not up to the recent standards.
Okay,
now,
not making the
obviously,
playoffs,
this year, the expectation is high again. But I'll be interested to see what that quarterback situation turns out to be. And I'd like to see who ends up starting.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be a quarterback by committee, at least until they figure out who it is, right?
Well, maybe so.
But that won't last long. I promise you, Nick Saban has a better idea than he's letting on.
I agree.
Yeah, he's just playing everybody on this like he always does.
That's right.
For sure. It'll be somebody good. You just wait. All right, it kind of reminds me, we got to get away from college football, but I'll say this last thing. It kind of reminds me of the year that Jalen Hurts started, he didn't start the season. Was it Blake Barnett? Blake Barnett started the season. They were unsure about who the starter was going to be.
Maybe a game?
And, Jalen Hurts came in, I think, in the second half of the opening game and then just never relinquished the starting role.
Right.
And, of course, the rest is history. I think it's going to be something along those lines. Don't be surprised if it becomes Dylan Lonergan.
That is
he
what
keeps getting
the
the
message
buzz.
board rumor rumors are all over, and
Yeah.
he's certainly not the most highly rated we have in there. But everybody seems to think that he certainly had the best summer practice, though, Brent.
All right, we got to get away from college football.
I'm ready.
Right, we're
Yep, we're
back
about to kick off the
high
third
school
quarter.
football. Yes,
Correct.
we're about to start the third quarter. Hillcrest up 30-0 as we begin the third quarter over the Southview Chargers. A good start for the 2023 season. The officials gathering on the 40-yard line, getting their notes together to get ready for this second half. The teams, Hillcrest receiving to start the second half. Southaven on the field. Hillcrest getting ready to head out there. And guys, it's a hot one out here, but Hillcrest definitely hot in that first half. And again, to go back to the amazing stat from the Guthrie stat line, only 14 total yards. And you know, something else we didn't do that we need to do here between plays is we need to get to the RSV Design
Absolutely.
scoreboard update.
Plenty of good
because
ones, Brent.
opening week of high school football started last night, and lots of good games to report on. So we'll do that here in the coming few minutes. But here we are with the Harwood Real Estate Kickoff about to come your way as both teams are out on the field. Back deep for Hillcrest, TJ Banks in the middle of the field. We've got DC Thomas to the right side, and we have, to the left side, and Shamar Moore to the right. Some speedy guys back there for Hillcrest if they can get a chance to return one.
I think that's helping any. I'm just trying to keep shade off.
Oh, you're good. I think that way, Ken, that up was...
See, I see
yep.
it now, but I see it's like coming right there, so I don't think it's even helping.
All right, here's the kick. It's fielded by TJ Banks at the 15, up to the 20, the 25, the 30, 35, 40.
Go ahead, TJ.
Makes a cut across midfield,
man.
45, down inside the 40,
dog.
down to the 36-yard line. When you hear these guys moaning and groaning and it's a big play, it's because they're reacting to a flag on the play. Almost every time, if you hear me calling out something positive happening for Hillcrest and you hear these guys moaning and groaning, that's an indication that there's a flag and something's coming back.
That official threw that flag farther than... Jeez. Oh, I won't make any jokes. I was going to say maybe he needs to start at quarterback for Alabama.
Hey guys, I think our camera is frozen due to the heat upstairs. We might try to do a hard reset here to see if that helps us out. He's on HDMI 1, is that right? No, you're on PIP video. Okay. All right. Why don't you? We're going to kind of break away from YouTube Live here for just a second to see if we can get this to reset. You're fine. Okay. So it's got to be us. So let's just get out of this. Where do you escape? I guess we're gonna have to end the stream and then come back to it. We'll do that.